Good evening, peeps. I've just started the first final fit. It won't be the first final fit, but the first proper fit of the underfloor aero. I'm starting at the back with a diffuser because I want each successive part going forward to bolt underneath the previous part so the air flows over rather than trying to get through the gap. So, started fitting this, and the first problem I came up with was that the original spacer I made there was too short because it was bottoming out on the boot floor there. So I've had to experimenting by lengthening it. So I've finally got it to fit and managed to bolt it to the bodywork under there. But I've got a bit of a gap there, so I can probably reduce that extension by about half. Just to begin, I'll make a new one, so it's a one-piece thing. So it's now bolted to the floor underneath. So the next part will be those two sections there that cover the suspension. That I will tackle tomorrow. It's now 10 o'clock and time for not bed but time to go in and have a rest. I did hear the other day from a good friend of mine that his son John really loves my videos. Well, a shout out to John Boy. Well, no, actually that's his dad, so that'll be John Boy Jr. He is a Vauxhall Nova nerd, but you can't hold that against him really. You know, he can't help it. Anyway, hi John. Hope you keep enjoying these videos. Okay guys, that's all for now. Speak to you soon. Bye bye. Update on the diffuser fixing brackets. Once I actually bolted the front section in up tight and refitted these on their own, they actually fit. And it does still give us, as you can see there, a slight gap between the diffuser and the boot, so no rubbing. So I think that's basically a job done. Oops. And it's fitting. What I have noticed is that this fin here, when I fitted it to the diffuser, I fitted it the wrong side of the mark. So it sits slightly off centre. Am I going to reset that? No. There's some things you've got to let go. That's fine. That'll still work. When everything's bolted in, you won't see it anyway unless you watch this video, then come and have a look. But stuck to the floor there. Right, so that's looking pretty good. It's something we can't really see much here. But the next job is to mount the panels that sit under the suspension. They are going to be a little bit trickier, I think, because they haven't turned out spot on when I tie it into the diffuser, so some mods are going to be needed. Not a problem, not going to be the first time I modded something. I'll show you that as it goes along. Bye for now. Okay, now these bits which I designed some time ago don't quite work. That fits on there. I screw it to this position here. Up here there's a gap because the double skin here. And it doesn't quite reach here very well, so and there's a gap under here. So I'm going to extend this, tie into the floor here, fill this gap in. Then I've got to work out how I'm going to fix this onto here. Here, this needs a lip put on it to stiffen it up. And here, the other side obviously comes to this side. I've got this bit down here and a mesh down here. So what I'm thinking of doing is actually making this one piece by fitting in a section here and gluing it to this
Fortunately, I've got so much scrap in my bin that I've probably got a bit of a fit of that. So that's what I'm going to do now, and also extend this so I can tie and screw it into here. Fit this gap in here. Here, I don't know if I can see this in the photo. This has got to be trimmed back because I've designed this with this size tyre. They're going to be deeper. Like an idiot, I forgot about that. Not really an issue, I can play with that. Got a hacksaw. So, that's the next job.
Joining the two sections of the underfloor aero that covers the suspension into one piece, using a bit of scrap carbon. I've got a lot of scrap. Fortunately, I've got a bin there, this sheet that I cut it off of, and various other bins of stuff. Never throw anything away, you never know when you might need it. Anyway, I'm joining this together using, well, experimenting basically with this stuff. 3M Scotch Weld 420, as recommended by Superfast Matt on his YouTube channel. He's building a super fast salt racer, among other things. So it doesn't work. It's your fault, Matt. Okay, next day, taking the bricks off, pulled the masking tape off, and the glue has worked. So you're off the hook, Matt. Oh, if anybody's not seen Matt's videos, his YouTube channel, I suggest you have a look. There's some good stuff on there. I like his sense of humour and the way he works. Anyway, back to this. That is now the panel. This is going to be extended a bit to reach the floor. Not quite long enough. Along here, I'm going to put an L-shaped ridge to stiffen it up. I need to work out how far this is going to come in with the tyres before I put that in. Or I might actually put it in here anyway, and I can trim it back to suit. And this will continue on and tie into the piece of air out the front, near the front, mumbling away here. And my son is going to be 3D printing a necker duct. I can put in here so I can get some air to the diff. That's going to be pretty enclosed. The advantage of having one printed is you get nice sharp edges, so you get decent vortices off the edges. Most of the commercial ones have round edges because that's easier to make that way. They don't work as well. And it's cheaper to print one as well, the price they're charging for those things. So, there we are. So, next day, tomorrow, might be tomorrow, I'm going out to lunch tomorrow, so be Wednesday, I will look at how this fits, start playing around with it underneath the car and start putting the fixings in so I can actually screw it up. That'll be fun. Bye for now.